Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sand King.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Raze.
Dire team pick.
Treant Protector.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Lich.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Warlock.
Radiant team pick.
Juggernaut.
Dire team pick. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome. My name is Arctic Dota and thank you for joining me today for Dota 2's amateur tournament, The Hunt, Winx vs Raze Gaming, Game 2 of the semi-finals, leading into the best of 5 grand finals, which should be coming today, and we're in the draft now. Sorry about no commentary to come during some time of this draft. There was a couple of issues, but that hopefully should have been resolved by now. And looking at the draft right now, I haven't had much time to really analyze the draft, but a couple of new heroes I've seen today that particularly take my interest. Warlock being one of them, and Juggernaut too. And actually, partially Luna as well. A couple of heroes I haven't actually seen for a long time during this tournament. Heroes that I think are very strong, and I'm actually very excited to see how this game goes. And Luna going to be picked up now for Winx Gaming. Looks like they're leaning towards some sort of defensive tri lane at the moment with the Lich pickup. Luna and Sand King generally can be more aggressive, but I'm not really sure how they're going to lane this. And they've got the Juggernaut as well, so their lanes are kind of all over the place. It could be a mid Luna, we can never really be sure. And with the Anti-Mage pickup from Raze Gaming, a hero that if you do take this late will be a bit of a nuisance, especially if he picks up that Butterfly. He's going to do work against heroes like Sand King and Lich, heroes that really need their mana to have a big impact. And now we're waiting actually on another ban coming out. Jakiro going to be the latest ban. Actually, sorry, Darkseer going to be the latest ban. I think that's a ban in combination to the Sand King and Lich because, excuse me, if you can get a really nice vacuum into a Burrow Strike, it's actually a really well-known combo that many of the pros have used time and time again, especially when Orange was a team, and others liked this because it was a really solid way to set up fights, and if you got a good Burrow Strike off, it was a good setup for the Sand King's ultimate. And now the last ban coming out for Winx, Doom, also really strong against a couple of heroes, but if they did pick up Doom, who would be their main target actually? The Sand King, you could Doom the Sand King, but then you've got heroes like Luna and Juggernaut and Lich, all with big ultimates and big damage, and their abilities definitely play a vital role. So there's definitely no really distinct target to Doom. And now Abaddon being picked up, and I love this in combination with Anti-Mage and Razor. 2 right clickers, 2 that can provide so much physical damage, and if Abaddon gets that Curse of Anubis, or however you pronounce it, his passive off, the Anti-Mage and the Razor are going to get a huge boost in attack speed on that target unit. So that's going to be really nice. And Necrophos going to be the last pickup. Not really sure what to say just yet about this pick. We'll see how it goes. But Raze Gaming, if they get the initiation with the correct train ulti, they can do a lot of damage. But once the BKBs have been picked up, and Juggernaut can ultimately, I think, spin after the train ulti's been deployed, then he should be okay later on. And now we're going to have a pause, and that Juggernaut spin is really annoying. I should actually probably change my name right now, because I am no longer a stand-in. Oh, that's not right either. Alrighty, there we go. I'm just going to move away from this Juggernaut, and we'll start with the Dire. On the Dire, we have the Pie of Sauron. Going to be playing that Anti-Mage, heading over towards the safe lane. We're going to see Charlie's Life Advice playing on that Treant Protector. Should be up in the safe lane as well. Itanim, something I can't really pronounce that. Playing on the Warlock. Should be heading to the top lane as well, I believe. Night Sub playing on that Abaddon. Maybe heading to the off lane. Not sure how they want to run this. And then we've also got, on the Razor, Tofu the Time Traveler. It looks like he's heading towards that off lane. He's got quite a lot of regen, and he should be alright heading down there. And now Lich has come back into the game. The go call comes out, and now we're heading on in. Oh, the 1 sec actually. Maybe they want to pause again. Not really sure. But they've gone anyway. And now let's go over to the Radiant. We've got a name which I cannot pronounce. will be playing on the Luna. Actually, I cannot pronounce any of the names that we see here, especially with the love hearts at the start, but I think I might be able to pronounce this Juggernaut's name. I believe it is Yuakiako Amgagaya, playing on that safe lane Juggernaut. I think I really terribly stuffed that up, but that's alright. 30 seconds left into the game. Looks like no movement's going to be made into enemy territory looking for that first blood. I think definitely Winx Gaming have the upper hand if there was a level 1 engagement, especially if Luna levels that passive, which I believe she hasn't actually leveled anything yet. Good Burrow Strike, they've got the Lich Nukes, they've also got the heal coming from Necroforce, but he's actually skilled Heartstopper's Aura. But no engagement's going to happen, and now they should be going for these bounty runes. It looks like they're just going to give up the bottom bounty rune to the Razor. That gives you half a level of XP at level 1, and it looks like Luna's going to try and pick up the bounty at top. And just look at the XP, she starts at 0, goes straight to 100. In the current update, that's actually a really big deal. Just getting that XP boost above your enemy will make it that much easier to maybe win your lane or to get levels ahead so you can possibly go for a solo kill. So definitely something worth going for at level 1. And it looks like, yep, it's going to be the defensive tri-lane as expected with the Abaddon heading towards the off lane. I think the goal right now for Raze Gaming is they want to take it into the later stages of the mid game with his anti-mage, get a quick Battle Fury, start stacking up the jungle, get him flash farming and on a good roll as fast as possible. And now their main goal is actually, they've put the Luna into the off lane. Looks like an aggressive tri-lane of sorts, but they're actually running dual lanes with the defensive support Lich protecting Juggernaut. And it looks like with the Luna pick, and she's already leveled Luna Blessing, she wants to try and do some damage to this tri-lane and somewhat slow down anti-mage's farm, but I don't think they're going to be able to do this too well. The amount of right-click that Trine has, just look at that damage. How much is he hitting for? 87 damage at level 1. He's got living armor as well, so the kill potential is not actually that high at the moment. So I don't think this lane's going to go too well. They might have to play a little bit passively in the end, and that's going to really struggle for them. Looking onto this mid-game, mid-lane, sorry. Razor up against Necrophos, a hero Necrophos I love seeing in the mid lane. I'm not really a fan of him in a supporting role, just because his abilities are really strong, and especially if he can get those fast levels in it, it makes him all the more powerful. And even that early level in Sadist means last hitting and deny. It almost wipes away the use of a bottle, or maybe a bottle can be important if you get a nice rune, but maybe the use of some healing salves or some tangos, because just by CSing and denying, it increases your health and mana regen, allowing you to actually survive in that lane for a long period of time. Treant Protector already starting the stacking. They're doing a lot of pulling as well. The support's really making use of the jungle, trying to bring the lane back to tower, which it should come now. I believe it will, and Anti-Mage might have to tank up a couple of creeps just so that the next wave doesn't come onto the tower, or else that's actually going to ultimately push that lane further forward. But it should be alright. The next wave's already coming in, so that'll actually bring it up to around this portion here, which should be okay in the end for him to farm. And one thing throughout this entire tournament that I haven't actually seen that much is actually the use of denying. And we know that in the current patch and in the latest update that denying was actually made all the more important. Just denying a lot of the XP and the gold that comes from getting a last hit to an enemy can actually make a really big difference. If you focus on denying for long periods of time, you'll see the XP change, you'll get levels above the enemies that you're actually laning against, and ultimately you'll have a lot of an easier time going into later portions of the game, because you'll be up in levels. And if I had to make a guess on where first blood was actually going to occur, I would say it would either be in this top lane or in the mid lane. To be honest, this Abaddon, a really durable hero. He's also got the Aphotic Shield in case he gets in any kind of trouble, so he'll be fine. He's level 4 already at 3 minutes, and he's going to hit level 6 very soon. And then he'll almost become unkillable to this dual lane, so he shouldn't die anytime soon. And let's take a look at the mid lane now. Necrophos sitting 11-1, up against Razor's 10-3. He's doing okay right now. Maybe needs to work on the denies a little bit, but he's taken almost no harass, whereas that Heartstopper's Aura, just look at the amount of damage it's doing to this Razor. He hasn't even right-clicked him once, I believe. No passive harass coming out yet, and just look at the amount of health that he's losing over time. That's how many levels is he? He's only got 1 point in that, and he's actually got 3 in Death Pulse, so that's actually a really strong ability. If he just followed him, once he's got the full level and Heartstopper aura, if he stays with them for around 80 seconds, he'll kill anyone. No matter how many hearts you buy, you will die to that passive. It's a very strong ability to have in team fights. And also, if actually, I forgot to mention this, if Night Sub does actually get engaged on, they've also got living armor up here from the Trained Protector, so there you go, he should be fine in that as well. And they've got sentries out for the Sand King. It looks like they may want to make an engagement soon onto these heroes, because they've obviously bought the items to prepare for such a case, and they're going to start pulling now, bring the lane back up to the tower and maybe wrap around in kind of this area in this kind of fashion and look to get a kill. But they've got no stuns in this lane. They've got slows and they've got damage over time, but the slow is going to be really nice for anti-mage. He'll be able to blink ahead and really get that mana break onto the enemy heroes. But without that, you really need something to hold them in place, or they'll just get out. I mean, Sand King, he's not really in that much trouble. If he gets a good Burrow Strike, there's no real strong control abilities that will bring him back into the fight, like a Rubik Lift or a Sven Stun, or something of that kind. It looks like protecting Razor, getting that Treant's heal on him. Health regen increased by 7, so he's doing okay now, and it's only to that Heartstopper's aura, so they may have to spam that out a little bit just to keep him alive. And this is why I also think that Necrophos is actually already level 6, 5 minutes in. 1 second, everyone. Sorry, I just got to do one thing. There seems to be a problem with my microphone if you're watching in game. Apparently you can't actually hear me. Not really sure what the problem is with that, but hopefully if that's really a problem, just jump over to my stream. Jump over onto that and you'll be able to hear me clear as day over on the stream. So if you're having issues, jump over there onto that Twitch channel and it should be a lot better over there. Now looking at these lanes, still no first blood to come, 6 minutes in, no aggression really being made. But with the lineups coming out from both teams, it seems like they want to play fairly passive. You know, when you pick up a Lich is a hero that doesn't really play that aggressive early on. He's more focused on protecting teammates and securing their farm. And at the same time, they've got an anti-mage hero that can't actually play that aggressive in the early game either. The Trained Protector can do some kinds of things, but he's got 2 points in living armor, so it looks like he's got the same kind of intentions as well. Just securing the anti-mage's farm and getting him over into the mid game. He's sitting 40 and 2 right now, and he's also got his Claymore on the courier, so he's doing really well right now. Should have a Battle Fury around 13-14 minutes if he keeps going this way. And I believe there's actually been some stacking going on from the supports. Not really sure if there's been stacking in the actual main jungle. Yeah, there actually hasn't. But that's alright, he'll be able to do that later. Maybe they want to look towards the Ancients. They haven't done that either. I really like to see when teams utilize their jungle and really make use of everywhere on the map. And now, Night Sub. How's he doing? If I can actually... There we go. He's got his level 6. He's not afraid to man mode this Juggernaut. He's almost got his phase boots. And he's not going to make an engagement yet. He's got an early earn. Looks like heading into the mid game, he wants to be aggressive early on and build up some earn charges and then snowball through the towers. Take a couple of towers and really deny any map control towards Winx Gaming. So he'll probably do that soon. He should be fine now in this offlane. No kills will come there. Trained Protector looks like he's roaming somewhere. He's got sentries. He might be headed back to base or he's heading to stack something. We'll see what he's wanting to do there. Let's just check on the mid lane again. Razor, he's got his Treads and an Aquila sitting at 29 for 13. Up against Necrophos, who's got 31 for 6. And this is actually pretty even in this lane. But yeah, it is. Look at the XP. It's fairly close because although Necrophos has more CS, Razor has 13 deniers, whereas Necrophos only has 6. So it's kind of evened it out in the end. And I'm not really sure who's going to have more of an impact later on. Necrophos, his ulti is really powerful if used at the correct time. And it also prevents blinking, I believe, and things like that. Well, it does hold them in place so they can't move. So if the anti-mage gets low, they can definitely gank him very early on. He's got 800 gold right now, sitting at 50 CS almost. Very close to his Battle Fury. There we go. Hopefully that's a lot better now. That's fixed. Now you should be able to hear me in game. I'm sorry, I'm fairly new to this whole kind of thing, but it should be fixed up now. If you can only just hear me now in client, my name is Arctic Dota, and this is Winx vs Raze Gaming, Game 2 of a semi-final of the Hunt, an amateur Dota 2 tournament sponsored and created by Hunting Bros. So thank you for joining me if you can finally just hear me now. Healing Ward's going to be deployed bot. Juggernaut pretty low in mana. He's got phase boots and he's gone for the Orb of Venom. Looks like he wants to harass. Well, he knew that was going to happen from the start. When you're up against Nabat and he's a hero that generally likes to trade right clicks with you, especially when he puts that aphotic shield onto himself. He likes to do that, and 10 minutes in, still no first blood coming for either teams. It's a very passive early game. Let's take a look at the chart right now. Anti-Mage, of course, is leading the CS, but then following him, trailing very closely behind, is Juggernaut and Necrophos, both on the Radiant right now. So Anti-Mage, it looks like he's going to be playing a big part, but if he drops off or if he gets ganked a lot, if he dies, then eventually he'll actually become of very little use, because the two cores on Winx Gaming are trailing behind in CS and will eventually dominate. Sorry. Let's take a look at the supports right now, actually. Train Protector sitting at level 4 right now, almost level 5. Warlock, close to his level 6. And then Lich, let's take a look. He's got his level 6 right now, so he has Chain Frost available if he wants to go for it. And Sand King also level 6, and he's skilled his ultimate. He's just got it right now. And it's a very passive early game. If you're all watching right now thinking, wow, this Arctic guy's very boring, this game's very boring, I would probably believe the same thing if I was a spectator in this game. So, from experience, there have been many games that teams pick heroes that are very passive early on. I saw a game, can't recall who it was between, but I saw a Medusa, a Morphling, and a Spectre all in the one game, spread out between the two teams. And right from the draft, you could tell that this game was going to go for a long time. And in fact, it went for almost 80 minutes. I think it went for over 80 minutes before the action actually started to roll in. So, actually a Lunar ulti being deployed top. Will it be first blood? The slow as well. Sand King misses his stun. Goes for the ultimate, but there's nothing to cancel it. Warlock getting really low, and first blood claimed by Luna with a brilliant stun. And this is the weakness of this safe lane by Raze Gaming. It's a strong defensive tri lane, but the fact that they put a Sand King up there, what it actually means is that they've got no stuns on any of their 3 heroes in this lane to cancel the use of that epicenter if it does come out, and we saw it come out just then. First blood claimed. And now Raze are heading it. Looks like they want to make a play on Juggernaut. He ulties up, starts to spin away the Chain Frost. Beautifully done. Only bounces twice. Abaddon pops his ultimate. He's not actually getting that much heal from it. Lich pops a salve, but he's getting really low. The Juggernaut heal comes out as well, and Razor will claim a kill on this bottom lane, but Nightsub's going straight in. Necrophos is waiting behind the trees and will clean him up with a nice ultimate. And now Razor looks like he wants to engage as well, but now they know that there's 3 heroes in there, so they may want to back it up now. Necrophos just trailing behind. He's still got 1 point in Heartstopper Aura. They get a brilliant stun plus the heal, and if they just follow behind, they might be able to kill this Warlock with that passive, and they clean up the Warlock as well, claiming 2 for 1 in this little engagement. And Luna picks up the Invis Room, but I don't think they'll be going for any more later on. He's actually still heading towards the mid lane. Maybe you want to make something happen, but actually it looks like he's heading on top. He's got drums right now, got his power tread, sitting on agility, and he's got Eclipse in 66 seconds. Hero levels right now, take a look at that in the top left corner. Necrophos leading at level 11, especially from that kill that he picked up. Really boosted him ahead in terms of XP. And now Razor following this Juggernaut. He went for the treads though, didn't actually go for the phase boots build, whereas Jug did, so he'll be able to get out quite easily. And I'm trying to actually think of the logic behind Razor getting these power treads, because normally when you pick up treads, it gives you more stats, which is really strong. It does give you some movement speed, not as much as phase boots, and not as much damage as phase boots. And when you've got an anti-mage in your team already, when you've got an Abaddon as well, heroes that already provide a lot in terms of damage later on, Abaddon kind of drops off. Razor does hit very hard, but when you've got a hard carry like anti-mage, who will be the one that takes the team, rolls the team through the later stages of the game, you generally don't go for the power treads because you want to be that kind of assassin type role. Maybe looking towards Templar Assassin. When you're the only carry in the game and you're sitting in the mid lane, treads is probably what you want to pick up in that case. But if you've got other carries farming other lanes, you more want to go for the phase boots and blink build because you want to be able to assassinate any hero almost instantly with your insane amounts of damage that you pick up. So he's not going to be able to chase many heroes. Night Sub's got ultimate. He's just following. He gets the Urn Charge as well, and he's got phase boots. Is he actually going to die for this Necrophos? I think that he maybe could if he had his ultimate available, but he'll actually back off in the end. Puts up another Aphotic Shield and should come into contact with Lich, who does pop his ultimate, and now he probably wants to get out. Necrophos does have his ulti, but he's actually left Lich. Lich has a TP if he wants to use it now, but he's just going to get taken down. Necrophos just left him to die. That's unfortunate. And actually, meanwhile as well, Juggernaut picks up a kill on the Warlock, who may have actually, who came down to the bottom lane, trying to make something happen. And he gets picked off for it. 4-2 right now, Winx Gaming leading ahead right now. Let's take a look at the charts as well. XP over 2,000 in advance for Winx Gaming, and taking a look at the net worth as well. It's a very up and down graph, but now it's just sitting over the top of the 0 mark in favour of Winx. So they're leading ahead. They've definitely got a lineup that can snowball if they get sufficient farm and levels. Juggernaut's a hero that if he goes for the early Aghanim Scepter can actually win fights solely off a good ultimate. So I'm kind of worried for Raze Gaming at the moment. They need more gold on this anti-mage. He should have his Battle Fury by now, I believe. Yeah, he does have it. He probably had it a few minutes ago, so he'll start flash farming as well, but I think it's in Winx's favour to actually start playing aggressive now because they're in lead and they know that anti-mage will most likely outcarry this game if it comes to it. Luna and Jug are also pretty hard carries, but anti-mage is also very strong in that respect. And now Sand King sitting at 700 gold. He's going for that Blink Dagger. He's got one ward on him. Not sure where he wants to place that. He needs to get that blink up as soon as possible before Winx can start taking favourable engagements. And now they're going to try and take down this top tier 1 tower. They've got Glyph up if they want to use it. Glyph gets popped, and now they're just waiting. Waiting with bated breath, and they should take down this tower. But there's 2 TPs coming in, 3 actually. The stun on 2, and the spin as well. Going to clean up a couple. Anti-mage blinks out the beautiful Trine ulti. Takes down 1, but the beautiful ultimate also by Necrophos holds anti-mage in place, and can he blink out just in time? The Sand King stun also comes in. Meanwhile, Lich actually following the Razor, but he'll get out. 2 down. Beautiful TP defense, but during that time, they actually lose their mid-tier 1, so I still think that Winx Gaming definitely won that engagement. They got 2 towers, but the kill on that anti-mage early on is really going to set him back. So well played by them, and now they're taking advantage of what they've got to do. They pop the drums, and they're going to now take down the safe lane tower for the Dire. Hopefully take away as much map control from this anti-mage as possible. And Night Sub trying to just go full man mode on this. He's heading in. He's got ultimate and Aphotic Shield maxed. If he can get a right click on someone, a beautiful ulti by the Warlock lands on 4, and they should pick up this Sand King if he doesn't get out. He's got no mana. The Healing Ward should keep them alive for the time being, and the other 4 heroes will make it out. They're all low on mana though, so taking a fight right now would probably be an unwise decision to make. And the Warlock Golem going to be backing off, and now the tower was denied. Top lane tower was denied. Well played by them. Oh no, not the top lane tower, it's a different tower. Now another Trine ulti gonna land on the Juggernaut, but he spins out of it. The Lich gonna nuke as well. Anti-Mage wants to jump to the front lines. He pops his ulti, but he actually gets the kill in the end due to the Urn Charge from Abaddon. And he should be getting out now. He's actually very low. And they've still got a lot of mana on a couple of their heroes. They could keep fighting here. The Luna's actually extremely slow. Razor's just going to chase him down. He's getting slowed so much, and they're going to finish this kill on Luna. And Lich actually standing in it as well. Is he going to drop as well? 2 down, and Sand King's got no mana. Another 4 down for Winx. Raze Gaming really taking advantage of that Warlock pick. That slow was just absolutely ridiculous. So they pick up 4, they lose none in return, 7-6 now. And now they'll head on to this tier 2 tower. Just really start to take care of their lead. An anti-mage working towards that Yasha. And then most likely will hit up the jungle. And Jug TP's in, probably wants to get out of there. Not a favourable fight in his regard that he would want to take. Bottom lane, not being farmed at all. It's just being left free. And now a bit of a right-click wall coming out. Anti-mage just gets blown up. A little bit cocky there by his lead. He's down for 40. And a Jug ultimate on 2. Warlock runs back the sacrificial lamb. So takes the rest of the damage and will die from that. And now Treant Protector does invis himself. But a beautiful sentry ward was placed. And he will drop as well with 2 nukes and a couple of right clicks. Really nice form. But both of these teams really trading wins in these fights back and forth. Let's take a look at this graph now. It should be up and down even more. But still in favour of Winx. By 2000, they never actually got an XP lead back again, even after that 4-man wipe. Just shows how far behind they really are. And now the net worth's completely dropped down, just under a 1,500 lead for Raze Gaming. Glyph gets popped. Looks like they want to defend this tower. And the Curse of Anubis, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. I'll read it later. Working onto that Luna. They'll drums up. They'll head on out. Now let's actually figure this out. How do you say it? Avernus. There we go. Avernus. The Curse of Avernus. Avernus. I'll remember that one. Sorry about that. You probably expect a lot more quality casting coming out, but unfortunately I'm actually not that great. So sorry to stop you all from enjoying this. And a beautiful ulti from Luna will clean up Warlock plus a stun. Both of these teams don't know when to disengage. They stay for too long and then they lose a lot of heroes in the end, and now they're chasing down a Baden. Stun just lands, max rage stun. And he's got the ulti now, and they're trading right clicks. He's going to heal up. Still sitting at 700 HP, and he picks up a DD rune. Don't think he wants to turn around on that, though. Even though he is hitting fairly hard. And they're still really intent on defending this tier 1 mid, but the tier 1 mid is actually a very important tower, so I'm not really surprised that they do so. TP's coming in now. Both teams really keen to fight early on. There was a lot of passive play coming for the first 10 minutes. You know, the heroes that they drafted looked like they wanted to play very passive, but now they're playing super aggressive. Anti-mage, if this is the lineup they wanted to go for, I think they could have subbed Anti-mage out for more of a, maybe a hero that synergizes better, maybe a Sven or something like that in combination with the Treant Protector, but that's okay. And now both teams really just saying hello to each other. Jug initiates straight in, pops the ultimate, but gets pulled back out. Necrophos ulti gonna land as well. The Aphotic Shield gonna save Razor's life. And our Sand King gets seen inside the Sandstorm form. And will be cleaned up as well. And just look at how beautiful that slow looks from the Warlock. We'll secure that kill. Oh, we've got a Hellbear Smasher in the fight as well, coming in from Luna's Helm of the Dominator. Both teams getting really close together right now. Juggernaut gets slowed. The Lich ult is going to fly, and this is a beautiful time to use it. They're all so grouped up. Night Sub, he has ultimate, and the spin's actually just healing him up. He'll get out okay, and man, this game, both teams just trading damage after one another. Really not scared to take fights. Looks like they really understand each other's play styles right now, and understand each other's strengths, so they know when and when they cannot take fights. And now they'll back it off. And let's take a look at these graphs again. Probably changing. Yes, it's actually jumped up sufficiently in 3k in advance for XP for Winx Gaming, and for net worth also. Actually now in favour of Raze. Well, it actually was in favour before. They fought back and got that lead, and now it's just under 500 gold for Raze Gaming. I'm really keen to see how these fights go into the late game, because with a Luna and a Juggernaut, you know that it's going to be one hell of a show. So we'll have to see what happens with this. Anti-Mage starting to flash farm. He's got 2,000 in the bank right now. Got a Yasha. Maybe looking to get that Manta, or if he wants to, go for something else. Maybe pick up a BKB of sorts. But that actually doesn't work against the Juggernaut ulti, so that won't help him that much. He'll probably just finish up his Manta, then go for a Butterfly of sorts against these two right clickers. The tier 1 falls mid. The semi-finals. Which team's going to advance into the grand final? Both teams showing that they are worthy of the grand final of the Hunt #1. And they're really putting on a show for us in this last 20 minutes to really show us why they should be contenders for this final match. Some pinging going on the map. Illusion Rune going to be found on the bot lane. And Sanking is now head off into the jungle. He's also got 2k in the bank. And he's maybe looking towards that Blink Dagger. He's fairly close. Waiting for it. Will he get it off this Centaur? The Centaur gives a lot of gold, I believe, but he'll actually back off. The ward will pick off and find the Treant Protector coming in and invading his jungle. And they pop an Observer ward down very sneakily. And they now have a bit more map control. I think it gets pinged out saying, hey, he must have placed a ward somewhere. And Sanking's now got his Blink Dagger being brought to him on the courier, I believe. No, actually. There we go, he's bought it now. Okay, that's cool. Now, both teams, they've got Tree and ulti up, fairly small cooldown. A great ability in my opinion. They've also got the Raze's ulti. He's got that mechanism, or mechanism as it should be pronounced. He's going for that Aghanim Scepter as well, or maybe looking towards a BKB. I think a BKB would probably be the more safer option, especially with all this fighting and all this aggression coming out. They've also got a Baden with his ultimate up, and looking on the Radiant now, Luna. Ultimate's up as well, Lich too, all the big ultimates are up and ready to go, and Sanking with the blink